Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, July 13, 2021. My name is Karen Bodenschatz. I serve as Associate Pastor at First Lutheran Church in Onalaska, Wisconsin, and this is my morning musing. So for the past few months, I've been making my way through Doctor Who episodes, and I started with Christopher Eccleston and have made my way all the way. Now I'm in the most recent season with Jodie Whittaker. And the past weekend, I was introduced to a historical character that I know very little, actually I knew nothing about. And so I looked her up because I was like, who is this character that then ends up, saving the day with the Doctor, of course. And so her name is Ada Lovelace, and she is known as the first computer programmer. So that's fun anyways, in and of itself, that there was this woman who was the first computer programmer. But Ada Lovelace was born in 1815. 1815. And this woman becomes the first computer programmer. I didn't even know those kinds of things existed back then. But apparently, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So I'm so in awe of her and of women like her. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about her story and then talk about how much of an inspiration she is to all of us. So she was the daughter of the only legitimate child, actually, of Lord Byron. Lord Byron was an English poet. He was known for his moodiness and for his passion and his poetry. And so her father and her mother did not live together a few weeks after her birth. Her mother separated from him, and then he dies when she's a young child, and so she never really knows her father. And her mother insisted that her tutors teach her math and science. And she did this as a way to prevent her from developing any of her father's moodiness or unpredictability, and so, which is quite ingenious. And so she really wanted her to learn these other more mind-driven things. And it turns out that Ada was quite adept at using numbers and doing math. And so when she was 17 in 1823, she met Charles Babbage, who was a mathematician and an inventor, and he becomes a mentor to her. He is known as the father of computers. And he, in the 1820s, maybe 1830s, invented a difference engine to perform math calculations. And so probably, something familiar to our computer, right? To kind of figure out math problems. So later on in her life, Ada was asked to translate an article that was written in French by an Italian engineer about Babbage and his invention, this difference machine. And she did that. She translated it from French into English, and then she added her own notes and her own ideas about how these different computations can be done, especially using symbols and letters alongside the numbers. And her notes about this and her ideas about these things was 3 times as long as the original article. So she does not get recognized for her brilliance during her lifetime, and she ends up losing most of her money, and she dies in 1852 of uterine cancer. It's not until 100 years later, in the 1950s, that her work is discovered and recognized, as somebody was reading this really old article translation that she had written. And since then, since the 1950s, she has received quite a bit of honors and posthumously. That's not a word, I just made that up. You know what the word I'm supposed to be saying. And in 1980, the United States named a newly developed computer language, Ada, in her honor. So I love this story. And of course, now I have the Doctor Who interaction. Not that that really happened, I know that, but I have that in my head too, and this kind of character and this person that was Ada. But I'm really intrigued by her and by her life and her experiences, but I'm inspired by her curiosity and her willingness to kind of try things and put things out there and be who she was as much as she could possibly be. She was married, she had kids and all of that kind of stuff, but she was a mathematician at heart. And I'm a little saddened that she wasn't recognized when she was alive. But her curiosity gives me hope and encouragement to be curious myself about all sorts of amazing things that kind of pique my interest. That I sometimes look at and go, you're not smart enough for that. Well, I don't know, maybe I am, but if I don't try, I'm not gonna know. So curiosity and the courage to try things, even if they don't work. That is what Ada Lovelace is inspiring me to do this week. I hope you are inspired by her. If you want to know more about her, I encourage you to Google her and read. There's lots of different articles about her online. And yeah, we give thanks to God for courageous women who step out of the norm and do amazing things. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later. Be well, be kind. Christ is with you.